I'm Ricardo. I'm CEO and founder of LOQR. And at LOQR, we work mainly with banks. Well, basically only with banks. All our clients are banks. And we help them migrating the processes or the products they sell in the branch to allow them to sell that same process or same products online in a total compliant and simple way. And today I was going to do a presentation that my marketing people, probably it's a very good one with all the right words and so on, and with a very good aesthetical. But I was coming here and I was thinking, probably this is a right. I like to share. I like a lot to share and talk with people. And probably this is a good place to share something that happened with me in the last month. And probably that's what I'm going to talk about in the 10 minutes I have, and not so much looking at presentation about this. So talking about the future of identity is also looking a little bit behind and see what happened in the past and what can we learn in the past to project the future that we pretend to have. So if we look, for instance, in the early 1900s, and if we were going down Fifth Avenue in New York, we were seeing a lot of horses in that street. 10 years later, if we walk in the same street, we will see almost 0 horses and a lot of automobiles around that same street. So in 10 years, everything changed for the auto industry or for the horse industry at that time. Today, if we think about cars, we also start thinking about electric cars and electric vehicles, and how it is changing the way we are looking and perceiving the automotive industry again. And last week or 2 weeks ago, we have seen the European Union pass a law saying that from 2035 forward, there will be no more selling of combustion engine vehicles in Europe. So that's 12 years from now. It's not 20, it's not 30, it's 12 years from now. It's inside the time life cycle of a vehicle that you are unable to buy more in Europe. So things changed a lot and very quickly. Most of you are thinking, yeah, we know, we now all use Teslas in our credit loan advertising. So to see that we are selling the right advertising or the right loans to the right people that are buying that loans. But we need to adapt if you want to thrive. That's how society works, that's what we need to do. And looking a little bit about identity or the future of identity. I talk with a lot of banks, we only work with banks, and talk a lot of them, and I receive a lot of excuses not to go forward in what they are doing right now. One of the excuses is around the loyalty of our customers. And that is the history I want to talk to you a little bit about today. So I am a very loyal customer of Bank A. I'm their customer for more than 25 years now, probably. My wife also uses that same bank. All the companies we have connections or contacts or participation also use that same bank. And I opened an account in that bank more than 25 years ago with my parents. Once I was 18, they said, we should open you a bank account, let's go to the bank. And this was kind of a ritual, so going to the bank, opening the bank account, being there, and that was a very nice thing to do 25 years or more ago. Some months ago, I decided to open an account for my kids. I have 2 kids, one is 10 years old, the other one is 15 years old. I am very proud of them. They are both swimmers of the Portuguese swimming team, so that's quite nice. But I was with them and I called my bank manager and say, hey, I need to open an account for my kids. 10 years old, 15 years old, under 18 accounts. And most of you are thinking we don't make money with under 18 accounts, we only make money with 35 to 55 years old people that have accounts in our banks. But keep with me. Under 18 accounts, opening a bank account for them. And the bank manager say, yeah, sure, just come to the branch and we will do it for you. I say, okay. So I hang up and I start thinking, come to the branch. I don't even remember the last time I have gone to a branch doing whatever thing I had to do, but now I should go to a branch to open an account for my kids. And I said, no, there must be a better way of doing this. And so I realized I also am a client of Bank X. Bank X is a digital bank, and I remember seeing in their app something around under 18. And so I was in the app, and I was checking it, and I say, hey, under 18, I can open an account for my kids. And I say, hey, Andre and João, come here to the couch, let's open a bank account for you. So they seated side by side with me, we opened a under 18 account for them, we configured everything in their iPhones, and it just started working. They have the digital card and so on, and the physical card will come later on during some weeks after that. And everything took like 20 minutes, and they had a bank account. Yes, I know they didn't have an IBAN, they are under 18, but for all the mothers in their mind, they had a bank account. So João, which is the younger one, told me, Dad, can I use this to pay on the vending machine on the school? And I said, well, I don't know. If it supports contactless, probably yes. You can use the iPhone and go there and pay. So I teach him. Next day, he went to the school and said, yeah, the vending machine, it works. I can just put the phone there, and it just pays, and that's great. So from that moment forward, we started to manage their allowance in that same Bank X. So now, every week, it automatically charges the allowance for André and João in their Bank X app, and they just pay with it everywhere they go. My wife, which is from the finance, accounting / Excel world, she starts looking at this and says, well, I also want to have access because you see what the kids are doing, so I can see all the movements they are doing in my app, and I can see what they are buying, what they are paying, where they are going. So I also want to see that. So I transformed my account, which was just mine, a singular account, to a joint account, mine and my wife. And now she also has access to the same account I have, and she also can see the kids, and she also can charge the cards of the kids and so on, which was great. Some weeks after that, she told me, well, I'm always fighting with Bank A because they never do what I want. I send them emails, they send me back. I try to do transfers to Singapore, they reject my transfers. I try to do a lot of stuff, and it never works. Can I open an account for one of our corporates in this Bank X? And I said, I believe so. I think they have a business account. So I checked it out. They have the business app. We downloaded the business app, and 30 minutes after, we had a bank account for one of the companies we have in Bank X. She started using it in the daily life. So she is finance. She's also head of finance in some companies. So she started using that, checking that out, and so on, and said, hey, this works quite well. Can we have this account in all the other companies? And I said, yes. So we do the same thing. And now today, we are using Bank X almost pretty much for everything. And we were loyal customers of Bank A. And this took like 2 months, shifting our entire economy from our personal accounts and from our company accounts from Bank A to Bank X. And this is the future of identity. This is the future of what digital identity allows us all to do. This is the future that if we don't adapt, we will not thrive in that future. Obviously, Bank X is not perfect. So now we have my wife, she's fighting with them because she is asking them a very Portuguese thing, which is circularização de contas. She's saying, I need a paper from the bank, sign it, saying how much money I had on the 31st of December on the bank. And the bank is saying, just go to the app and print it. Right, so they are not very accustomed with Portuguese, so Portuguese bank will actually charge 150 euros for issuing this paper. And my wife say, yeah, but my state auditors don't accept that I go to the app and print. My state auditors want that the bank say that it's true what I'm seeing in the app. And this, for them, this is quite confusing, as you may understand. So how do we want me to say something that is true when the app says it is true? So, so it's quite hard. Obviously, we still have our house credit in Bank A because we have a very small spread back from 2007 or something like that, so we don't want to touch that. But everything else we are doing in Bank X. And this is what so when we are thinking in solving problems for the generation between 35 to 45 or 50 today, we are not thinking well, in my opinion. we should be thinking how to solve the problems of the younger generations between 10 and 15 years. Those are the real disruptive or the real disruption that we will receive or that you will receive in your institutions. We are talking about a generation that does not know what is a television, okay? They only know streaming. Your kids don't watch TV. Your kids watch Netflix or YouTube, right? They don't know what TV is. They don't know what is radio. They know what is Spotify. Okay, they didn't live in a world where Spotify didn't exist. They didn't live in a world where YouTube didn't exist. They don't, if they see a cassette player, and now you can see how old you are if you are seeing people Googling cassette player. Okay, but if you see a car cassette player, the first time my older kid, Andre, saw a car cassette player, because I was driving a classic car from one of my friends, he said, hey, great, a power docking station from the iPhone. No? It didn't work. It didn't charge the iPhone, but it fitted, which is nice. So the size was there, you know. So this is a very, very different generation from the one we have and from the one following us. The 15 years. So my nephew is 23, and the difference between my nephew and my kid, which is 15, is amazing. So it's tremendously amazing the difference he has. So my kid doesn't know what is a DVD. For him, buying a game, he's going to the Play Store and buying the game. And some minutes after it, it's working, you know? So it's not going to Fnac, buying a DVD, coming home, putting the DVD on the console and hoping that it will work. So this is what we should be looking. So if even the loyal customers change, imagine what this generation that is not used to wait for anything will do if you ask them to do something complex in order to be your clients in your banks, okay? Inside time? I think this was, well, at least more captivating than the presentation. So now we are going to discuss a little bit about this and a little bit what some companies are doing to help this younger generation thrive through the banking system and through the regulatory world, and our future, on our identity, digital identity, and all the other regulations that exist, like KYC, AML, and so on, can be surfed, as Joan said, in order to deliver this simple experience that will allow them to become customers of the banks we have today, or of the banks that will be able to adapt in the future. Thank you.